Hey guys, what's up? It's been a little while since I've done one of these, manga review, and I thought it was time to do another one. Plus, I wanted to tell you guys about this, Portus. Uh, I had never heard of this, actually, until I got it, picked it up from a used bookstore. Um, this actually beat my expectations by quite a bit. Now, it's a horror manga that was published by Viz, and it's apparently several years old, so I didn't really expect much from it, and it's a one-shot as well. It's not a series, it's just this one volume. So, as you can see, that's probably going to be one of my drawbacks. While I like having one-shot manga, uh, most of the series that are a one-shot, if they're not like a really big volume, they're probably not as developed as a series would be, and that is one of my problems with this, as you'll see later in the review. Um, First of all, you see this explicit content and that M, that is definitely something I would follow if you don't want mature content or anything, or if you buy manga for anyone else or whatever. Just saying, mature content sticker, it does definitely apply to this book. First things first, the way it looks. Yeah, I find it extremely aesthetically pleasing. The art style is really good. It's really detailed, and I like that quite a bit. There's a lot of hatching, cross hatching. It looks really, really dark for the style of manga. Generally is, generally has the nice line work and stuff. This has that with a lot of hatching and a lot of dark inks and things like that, as well as the normal style. So that's one thing I really liked about it, but at times the characters look a little bit exaggerated or a little bit odd. Like, it doesn't seem like they did it unintentionally, but occasionally they'll focus on a character's features or have them from a strange angle and have them look weird, basically, and that's not really particularly uncommon, but a lot of people would probably see that and mistake it for an accident or anything, because I had showed it to my friend, and that's what he thought. I guess he thought that they were accidents, but it's definitely on purpose. He just exaggerates things in his art. But as far as it being a horror manga, now when I see something that with the horror stamp on it, my first thought is generally that this is probably not scary. I am not easily scared. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I saw anything that I thought was scary in the slightest. This is probably as close as it comes for manga, because I've read horror manga before, the psychological thrillers, all that kind of thing, but this one has a really dark atmosphere that I enjoyed quite a bit. The little children, ghosts, murder, lots of violence, that sort of thing. It is pretty dark, and once again, the mature content sticker on it definitely applies. As far as the story, I can't say that it's that great. It's essentially about a haunted video game that people play, they become obsessed with it, and then they die. And that is the basic story, which is really common for things like that among any type of horror media, essentially. So when this came along, I started reading it, and I thought, well, it looks really great, but that doesn't mean a whole lot if the story's crap. And as I read through it, the story actually seems to be a lot more well thought out than other things, just the way things play out. But at the same time, it doesn't make much sense. I don't really know how to explain that much without you seeing it, because the story, it's coherent, it's cohesive, it goes together, while some of the events seem unreasonable. And it's not particularly a bad thing, but basically there are holes massive holes, and you can easily point them out. Then again, if you like horror, that's probably not a problem. You probably see it as a novelty because it's extremely common. Also, I don't want to give much away, but the ending is also extremely typical. And this doesn't sound like something I liked from the review because it sounds really cookie cutter the way I'm saying it, because I don't know how to explain it any other way, because it is really cookie cutter. It's just the elements of horror, the art, the way that the story goes with the art, the characters, the way that people act, things like that, they are not the normal awful garbage. And I already am a fan of the horrible, awful garbage that is horror. So obviously when something comes along and it's better than that, I enjoy it quite a bit more. This is one that I would definitely suggest, which is most of the reason I'm even taking time to make a review on it, because I know I say that I rate things pretty heavily on my 1 to 10 scale, and then all of my reviews happen to be higher numbers, and it's just because I typically wind up picking things that I like, which is, I guess, fairly uncommon, because I find a lot of people watching a lot of anime and stuff that they don't like at all, and that never happens to me. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say, as far as a quick read, I'd say it's probably about an 8 or a 9. But if you're not a big fan of horror, if you really don't like the kind of ridiculous, exaggerated stories and things like that, then it's probably not something I would suggest for you. And obviously, I wouldn't suggest it for kids, aside from the horror elements and all that. It's just not for kids or anyone who is squeamish, anything like that. But really good book. You'd probably have to find it online, because from what I hear on the internet when I looked it up, it's pretty old, or at least a few years. It's not being printed anymore. Yeah, so horror, thumbs up, probably 8.5 out of 10. Solid score. I thought it was really great. You can read it within an hour probably. So quick read, one shot, really appealing in a lot of ways to me. Hopefully it is for you. Hope you like the review. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Anime Observer signing.